Right, yes, shall we start? Well, so in financial management, we started the subtopic of financial system. Right, the subtopic of financial system. Now, what do we mean by financial system is that, so it's a set of components. When you say a system, it's a set of components. Now, financial system consists of financial institutions. My system right, financial institutions, which we have already covered. My system financial markets. Financial markets, which we have almost covered, but I'll start, the rest of the thing, right? The financial market is where those financial instruments and assets, right? The purchase and selling of these financial assets. Api dana samane market ekak kiyala kiyana buyers and seller, buyer and seller. It's any kind of a situation where buyer and seller meets. It could be a physical situation, or it could be, virtually, right? In our financial markets, so we mainly divide into two financial markets, which is for your short-term requirements, you'll be going to the money market. Long-term requirements, capital market. So then we divide into two, saying money market and capital market. Now, we almost covered the money market. So under there are four set of things, right? One other. First one, the interbank call money market. We know for banks also, they face short-term liquid issues, which are already covered, right? So they face short-term liquid issues. Lesson number 7, a system like RTGS, real-time gross settlements. So why they use gross settlement? In order to transfer money. So high, in terms of a large value, right? In a high amounts, money transfer banks. Why? Because the requirement is quite urgent. That has to be real-time, and that's with the huge amounts. In a money market, it is first interbank call money market. Make overnight that's the meaning of interbank call. Like a call make a quickly when on a application fill karala, local process the requirement is kind of urgent, right? In our first one, interbank call money market. I have shared some additional links which central bank describes, so you can also refer those. But the notes I'm providing is quite sufficient for your paper. So interbank call money market. So these are short-term requirements. The next thing you have, we demand and we supply for foreign exchange. So there has to be a facility for an importer to get the LC facilities or the letter of credit facilities, for the exporters also when they have kind of excess money to exchange with local currency. So we have domestic or internal foreign exchange market. Internal foreign exchange market. Internal foreign exchange market. Domestic foreign exchange market. And the third one, we have this treasury bill market. Now, when you come to treasury bills, it could be the primary market, could be the secondary market, which I'm not going to explain because why? something like treasury bills, we have covered in even lesson number 3 as well. So treasury bills also, why? Because it's like 91 or 92 days, 182 days, and then 364 days, which is less than 1 year. Now, treasury bill market, right? Treasury bill market. Now, primary market for TBs and the secondary market for TBs, right? And I make a primary market for treasury bills and secondary market for treasury bills. Now, primary keyword, central bank primary dealers. Could be commercial banks, could be dedicated primary dealers. From the primary dealers or from the commercial banks to the investors where they will be selling, right? So the secondary market. I think this is the point that we are going to start today, which is the commercial paper market. Commercial paper market, right? And also you have 3 capital markets as well. Treasury bond, treasury bond market, right, to be discussed, and also corporate bond market, corporate bond, and also share market, we classify capital market, but api danna godak welata short term benefits වලට share market එකේ invest කරන අයත් ඉන්නවා. හැබැයි but we consider share market is for long term financial requirements. So that's what we say, it's a capital market, right? එහෙනම් share market එකත් ගැන අපි වෙනම අපිට sub topic එකක් තියෙනවා. අපි ඒ ගැන කතා කරමු, right? එහෙනම් මේ තුන to be discussed. So I'll start with the commercial paper market. Commercial papers take one of financial instrument, make a reputed, right? Reputed incorporated companies, short-term financial requirements issue instrument. Then remember, treasury bills. Treasury bills government short-term requirement. Treasury bill short-term with the money market. It was a treasury bond capital market. So the same concept applies. Commercial papers for short-term requirements, which comes under money market, and you can see the corporate bonds, which is the long-term financial requirements that issued by the reputed companies. So they are long-term requirements. Corporate bonds comes under capital market, right? I think commercial papers also where you can trade. That make it maturity value. I think company reputation that will be have a good demand. So then they'll be able to fulfill short-term requirements, and also for somebody who is looking for a short-term investment, that's a good opportunity. Invest in commercial paper market. Right. So we'll start, guys. Mahitana make it. No need of having this structure which you have already taken. Now shall we write a subtopic? Commercial paper market. Commercial paper market. Commercial paper market. Well, so shall we write an explanation? So this is as per your syllabus, and also I'll share an explanation from official website of CBSL as well. right? But at the meantime, shall you write this? So this is a financial instrument issued by companies to fulfill their liquid requirements. The market in which the exchange of commercial papers takes place is known as the commercial paper market. So that's for the companies for their short-term requirements. Right, now let's see the explanation. I hope you guys are done with writing. So this is how central bank class, classify or introduce commercial papers. දැන් මෙතනින් අපි ටිකක් characteristics විතර ලියා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right, so let's try some characteristics. මොනවද කියන්න බලන්න. හරි. එහෙනම් commercial papers are short term. ඒක අපි දන්නවා, right? එහෙනම් short term. මෙන්න non collateralized. දැන් අපි කියන මේක unsecured එකක්. අයි මේක limited company එකක් issue කරන ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ liability limited. Right? ඒ නිසා මේගොල්ලන්ගේ there's a risk, right? Risk එකක් තියෙනවා. invest කරත් සමහරට company එක bankrupt වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද their liability is not unlimited. It's not like the government securities, right? It's not like the treasury bills. It's not like the treasury bonds where you have a 100% safe or a risk-free investment. but this is by the company. So then you need to make sure that you are exposed to some kind of a risk. That's what we say non-collateralized, unsecured debt securities. Guys, can we write, say the characteristics of commercial papers or commercial paper market? That doesn't matter. So I'll, here it's short term number one, which you already know, and it's non-collateralized, which is it's unsecured. And so it's issued by private sector companies. That's also, and issued by credit-worthy and institutions. It's a high rate rate, no? Because high rate නැත්නම් කවුරුත් මේක ගන්නෙ නැහැ. දැන් අපි බලුවොත් ලංකාවේ top companies බලුවොත් John Kills වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Atkins වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Kmart, Kelly's වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Expo Lanka වෙන්න පුළුවන්, Dialog වෙන්න පුළුවන්. You see their ratings, right? So otherwise, because it's unsecured, you make sure it's always high rated, right? So credit for the high rated institution, so issued by, that also you can mention. Any large denomination, මොකද company එකක්නේ ඒක රුපියල් 1000 2000 එහෙම ඒක issue කරන්නේ large denomination එකකින් තමයි යන්නේ, right? ඒ වගේම මේවා usually sold at a discount, right? Although somewhat interest bearing. I'll explain this point. Make a sell කරන්නේ discount එකකට, right? You know what's discount, right? Automatically change in the discount rates. Now make a sell කරන්නේ discount එක. අපිට මේක face value එක 1 million කියලා එහෙනම් මේක sell කරනවා 900,000 no 950. තොර මේක ගන්න කෙනාට 50,000 gain එකක් තියෙනවා upon the maturity. I shall only write the highlighted points, which is also you can see in green color as point form, right? Not as a sentence, as a point form. One is those are the like characteristics: short term, non-collateralized or unsecured, issued by private companies, issued by credit-worthy or high-rated institutions, and usually sold at a discount. Although some are interest-bearing. So if in case in the examination they ask write two characteristics of commercial papers, so here you go with the answers. I guess shall I give you another 1 minute? So I'll explain the fact of SOL at a discount and also some interest bearing. And I think we are good to go. Still writing, just let me know. Now here's something mentioned as they issue, this is issued by a high rated institution, and plus they have some additional bank guarantees of payment. Now let me go through one of Sri Lanka's commercial banks, and they have listed commercial papers. So if you are interested, and if an investor wants to invest, so they can purchase through those banks as well, where they will receive an additional bank guarantee. Now I'm in Nation Trust Bank official website. As you can see, so if you go to the corporate banking side, so you can see, if someone is interested of Sri Lanka government securities, Treasury Bills, bonds, they are saying what are your eligibilities to purchase. So what are the main features? It's risk-free, short-term debt. We talk about all the stuff. And what benefits, because customer might have the required source of money to invest, but not knowledge about those instruments, right? So at least they can refer the website and get an idea. So here it says, how can you invest in treasury bills? So you can visit a branch of your choice. So this is, guys, commercial banks act as a government, as a primary dealer. So Nation Trust Bank also one of primary dealers. So you can visit one of their branch of choice and discuss your requirement with an officer. So interest rate applicable for treasury bills can be discussed with the officer. So please fill relevant application. Order request letter, application for real-time notification, electronic confirmation letter, document set. So this is how I'll share this link as well. Because you can have a wide knowledge, especially about these the features of the bills and bonds. You get risk-free, short-term, and maturity proceeds, right? And tradable instrument in the secondary market. You can even sell and issue it scriptless, because that's what the SSDs come from. Scriptless securities, right? Hard copies and certificates scriptless and documentless certificate which is quite secure. The benefits it's risk free always. Why? Because it's the government. So you can get the competitive rate. Treasury bills are tradable again, and our receipts and maturity are proceeds and capital gains are fully repairable. So anyway, you have to gain a capital gain, but if there's any capital gain, you'll be enjoy those benefits, right? So treasury bonds also same 2 to 30 years. Because treasury bonds comes under capital market, right? So ඊට පස්සේ තියෙනවා repurchase agreements. පස්සේ මෙන්න මම අපි කතා කරන corporate debt market එක consists of commercial papers, debentures and trust certificates. ආගේ syllabus එකේ තියෙන all the commercial papers. ඉතින් බලන්න අර central bank එකේ තියෙන explanation එකම තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ bank එකේ website එකට ඒගොල්ලෝ අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. Commercial papers are short-term, non-collateralized debt securities issued by private sector companies to raise funds for their own use. So through banks and other financial intermediaries. එහෙනම් මේක bank එකක් එක තමයි back කරන්නේ, right? So ඒක තමයි මෙතන additional bank guarantee එකක් දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් eligibility තියෙනවා a non-national resident උනක් පුළුවන් මේක invest කරන්න. Sri Lankan citizen resident outside Sri Lanka පිටරටින් කෙනෙක්ට උනක් පුළුවන් invest කරන්න. ඒ වගේම company එකකට පුළුවන් invest කරන්න, right? Because company they treat as an individual. I think ඒ වගේම any other person of the category ඒ වගේම ඔයාලට benefits හම්බ වෙනවා මේ විදිහට attractive high interest rate. I think ඔය විදිහට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ලොකු details ප්‍රමාණයක් දෙනවා. Now let me explain this concept. What is this concept of the SOL at a discount rate? දැන් මෙන්න මේ documents එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි මේ කතා කරන commercial papers වලට තියෙනවා face value එකක්. Face value එකක්. ඔයාට මතකයි අපි කතා කරා discount rates ගැන නේද? So changing the discount rate is one of a tool using monetary policy. අපි නිකන් simply හිතමු මේක 1 million කියලා. එහෙනම් 1 million face value එකක් තියෙනවා. සමහර commercial paper interest bearing වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවද interest bearing කියලා කියන්නේ? අපි එහෙනම් 3 months වලට ඔයාට 10% interest. Quite good, right? So 1 lakh order ලැබෙනවා. So if you invest 1 million, you'll get 1 lakh within 3 months. එහෙනම් interest bearing. හැබැයි සමහර ඒවා sold at discount. එහෙනම් මේ තියෙන්නේ face value එක මේක තමයි maturity එකේදී ගෙවන්නේ. එහෙනම් maturity එකේ ගෙවන්නේ 1 million නම් ඔයාලට benefit එකක් ලැබෙන්න නම් ඔයා මේක you need to purchase by paying something below 1 million. මොකද ඒක තමයි ඔයාගේ gain එක. එහෙනම් if the face value is 100,000, now let's imagine you purchase this as 920,000. 920 වලට purchase කරා. එහෙනම් 3 months maturity එකකින් ඔයාලට ලැබෙනවා face value එක. කීයක්ද 1 million. Your gain is 80,000. 80,000. Got that point? now සමහරලාට මේක interest bearing වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් probably discount at sold at a discount rate. ඉතින් ඔයාලට ලොකු discount එකක් ලැබෙන්න ඔයාගේ gain එක වැඩි. Right? Let's say you purchase this as 910,000. So at maturity you can obtain 100,000 because that particular company has a responsibility to pay you the face value or including the interest. පැහැදිලිද? එහෙනම් face value එකට වඩා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අඩුවෙන් තමයි ඔයා මේක purchase කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම වුණොත් තමයි ඔයාට maturity එකේදී face value එක ලැබෙන්නේ. ඒතර ඔයාට ඒ දෙකේ gap එක ඔයාගේ gain එක වෙනවා මේ investment එකට. So that's the meaning of having sold at a discount rate. ඒ වගේ මේක unsecured risk එකක් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි you need to check the financial statement, you need to check their financial performance of a company. So when the company performs well, you do not think twice, right, to purchase because it's a reputed company with a high credit rating. So then you have some sort of a confidence about your investment. Well, එකත් එක්ක ඉතින් මොන අපේ money market එක ගැන අපි කතා කරලා ඉවරයි. Right? Money market done. Now let's move with capital market. Capital market is for your long-term requirements. මේ මාසෙන් දෙකකින් benefits ගන්න නෙමෙයි ඔයා capital market එකට යන්නේ. ඒ වගේ මේවල දැන් මේ market එකට යනවනේ දෙන්නෙක් එක්කෙනෙක් තමයි මං කියුවා නේද? money surplus එකක් තියෙන කෙනෙක්. අනිත් එකේනා money shortage. එතකොට ඔයාට company එකක් එකට share issue කරලා capital එක ගන්න නම් මාස දෙකෙන් තුනක් මදි. You need to have a long-term source of funds. So then you issue shares. For the government, for the long-term development projects, they need to have quite good money. So then it's not just for 3, 6 or 9 months. So they are looking for like 2 to 30 years. You can see, right? 2 to 30 years, kind of a huge time period. And also for the companies also looking for their the big move, right? Their long run move. For that money, they cannot pay within short period of time because it will take time for them to receive their benefits of their investment. So they are looking for long-term lenders, so where they issue corporate bonds. Right, guys, so let's start with treasury bonds. So shall we write a subtopic? Treasury bonds. Treasury bonds. Treasury bonds anything or the central bank එකෙත් explain කරලා තියෙනවා. ආගේ syllabus එකෙත් mention කරලා තියෙනවා. මම මුලින්ම I'll first refer the syllabus and then I'll also show you the content from CBSL website as well. And here, guys, you don't have to write everything. Now here a capital market. Yes, so the market where the transaction with maturity period of more than a year take place. හරි අපිට පුළුවන් නම් මේකක් පොඩ්ඩක් mention කරගන්න what is capital market. So please only write which I highlight things in yellow color. and the treasury bond market. A type of scriptless අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේක scriptless මොකද මේක SSBS එක යන්නේ. Securities are issued by CBSL of Sri Lanka on behalf of the government of Sri Lanka to obtain medium and long term loans for the government are known as treasury bonds. Shall we just write the first sentence, please? Treasury bonds. ඒ වගේම ඔයාලට මෙතන ලියන්න පුළුවන් අපි වෙනම characteristics හතරක් කතා කරමු. So only please write only the intro part. Right, guys, are we done? Shall we move to the central bank explanation and write a couple of characteristics? Because it's a common question, could be checked. Write few characteristics of treasury bonds, write few characteristics of treasury bills. So if you are done with this, so we can move to the CBSL explanation. But it's all good, right? Now let's move the let's highlight some of the characteristics. This is how central bank gives an introduction about treasury bonds. Now you know that in central bank there are a couple of departments. So when you come to this part, they have the public debt department. So let me highlight the points. Right. So you know that these are for long, medium and long term. Can we write maturities ranging from 2 to 30 years? It can be matured when it can be a kal pirena or අවුරුදු 2ක් 30ක් අතර කාලයක් බලාගෙන ඉන්න වෙනවා. So that you can decide when you purchase 2 years to 3 years to නැත්නම් 5 විතර range එක යනවා 2 to 30 years වෙනකම්. ඒක තමයි characteristic number 1. Then number 2, issued by the public debt department of the CBSL on behalf of the government. That part we know. No? So just write the public debt department on behalf of CBSL. අනිත් එක මෙන්න මේ දැන් ඔයාට හිතන්න දැන් ඔයාට මේකේ benefit එක නැත්නම් මේකේ return එකට අවුරුදු 30ක් ඉවර වෙනකම් බලන්න ඉන්න බැහැනේ. ඒ නිසා මේවට treasury bonds are interest bearing securities with interest paid biannually. මොනවාද biannually කියන්නේ? අර අවුරුදු දෙකට දෙපාරක් interest pay කරනවා. මොකද මේක long term නිසා you cannot wait until like 2 or 5 or 10 years. So since this is interest bearing, you'll be paid biannually. That's also one of the good characteristic. It makes 100% safe. Are the safest of all investments. All investment එකට වඩා මේක guaranteed, right? Safest of all investment. Characteristics number 4. Free of default risk, right? කවදාවත් මේක default වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ආට සල්ලි print කරලා හරි ඔයාගේ investment එකට payment එක ඔයාලට ලැබෙවි. Another characteristic එක මේක apply to both bills and bonds. Bills and bonds issued in a scriptless. මේක පටන් ගත්තේ 2004 ඉඳලා. ඒ කියන්නේ paperless තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම issue වෙන්නේ. ඒකත් one of a key characteristic. Characteristic number 6. ඒ වගේම මේක electronically ඔයා දන්නවා what is Lanka secure guys. Transactions are recorded electronically in the Lanka secure system, right? So we have discussed about what is Lanka secure. So that is one of a payment and settlement system provided by CBS. So can we write those 7 characteristics, please? Right, guys, shall I give another 1 minute and then we'll move to our second market, which comes under capital market, corporate bonds. Right, so we'll be talking about corporate bonds. And treasury bonds කියන්නේ long term, ඒක government එකෙන් issue කරන එක. Corporate bonds also long term, but that's issued by well reputed companies. Right, guys, all good. Shall we move to our next market, corporate bonds market? Right. Hi, Mebalan. Corporate bonds. Right, issued by well-reputed companies. මතක තියාගන්න මේක companies වගේම state corporations උත් මේවා issue කරනවා කියලා. මොකද ඔයා දන්නවා the difference between a state department and a state corporation. Government budget එකෙන් directly funds එනවා department එකට. Example එකකට health department, education department එකට education budget එකෙන් Ministry of Education එකට allocate කරන එකෙන්ම ඒගොල්ලන්ට funds එනවා. And by state corporations, sometimes they have to find their own. So, not just companies, state corporations also issue corporate bonds. Remember, not that part, not make a medium or long term. Then make bonds debentures කියලා. බලන්න. අපි bond එකක් කියලා කියනවා make a long term නැත්නම් long අපි කියන්නේ medium and long term කියලා. Now let's see for long term. So issued by reputed companies and state corporation. මේක හැමතිස්සෙම backed by an asset. Why, guys? Because the amount is quite high, the period is also quite high, the things could happen. And I make a asset එකෙන් නැත්නම් collateral එකකින් හැමතිස්සම guarantee කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි හිතමු හේමාස් කියලා when හේමාස් issue a corporate bond එකක් මේ issuerට යම් කිසි confidence එකක් දෙන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ collateral එකක් දෙන හරි. අපිට මේක බැරි වෙලාවක් ගෙවන්න බැරුණොත් ඔයාට මේ asset එක අයිති වෙනවා. So it's backed by a collateral එහෙම නැත්නම් backed by an asset. දැන් මෙන්න මේකත් එක්කම තමයි corporate debentures also part of bonds. ඒකේ ලොකු වෙනසක් නැහැ same characteristics හැබැයි මෙන්න මේ වෙනස තියෙනවා මේ බලන්න corporate debentures corporate debentures are not backed by an asset ඒක තමයි එකම වෙනස right සාමාන්‍ය අපි normally bonds and debentures same කියලා treat කරනවා but there's one difference right corporate bonds are backed by an asset but debentures are not. And remember the fact that this belongs to the debt capital. So whereas you will be prioritized, right? Compared to shareholders, when there's a bankruptcy situation, you will be paid first, right? Debenture holders, bond holders, මුලින්ම payment එක ලැබෙනවා. Shareholders කලින්. ඒක තමයි අපි කිව්වේ. You might remember that there's an order, right? So for that, you will be prioritized. පැහැදිලි කතාව එහෙනම් ඔන්න ඔය ටික තමයි corporate bonds ගැන අපි දැනගන්න අවශ්‍ය. So we'll write a quick explanation. This is as per your syllabus. Then also I'll move to the CBSL explanation as well. Right. So this is a market which the transaction related to marketing of the bonds debentures issued by state corporation and companies to fulfill their medium and short-term requirements. Right. So can you please highlight? So can you please write the highlighted part, please? If again, bonds can be exchanged in the share market by listing in the Colombo Stock Exchange. After the Colombo Stock Exchange කියලා වෙනම lesson එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් අපි කතා කරමු. මේ bonds exchange කරගන්න පුළුවන් Colombo Stock Exchange එකේදී. Right, guys. So now let's see the CBSL explanation as well and write a couple of characteristics comes under corporate bonds and debentures. So characteristics number one, so pay interest and redeem the principal at maturity, right? After interest එකක් ලැබෙනවා ඒ කාලය අතරතුර ඒ වගේම principal value එක ඔයාලට maturity එකේදී claim කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මෙන්න අනිත් point එක corporate bonds that are not backed by a specific assets are the debentures. ඒකට වෙනම separately පොඩි note එකක් දාගන්න පුළුවන්. So what is debentures? Bonds තමයි හැබැයි it's not backed by a specific asset. පැහැදිලිද කතාව? මොකද මෙතන bonds කියලා කියන්නේ medium and long term securities of private sector companies secured with some collateral which obligate the issuer to pay, right? So this is backed by an asset. So I appreciate that. Also you can write as two separate points. So debentures and bonds. Right? So here's the characteristics number one. And so coming to debentures, unsecured, medium or long term, that we already know. Interest bearing, interest එකක් ලැබෙනවා මේවට. So banks and other financial institutions that are backed only by the general. Now this is the good point. This is the good point. Remember, the holders of debentures that you need to write. The holders of the debentures are considered as creditors and entitled to payment before shareholders in the event of a liquidation of the issuing company. A company වසාදමීමේ අවස්ථාවකදී shareholders ලට කලින් ඔයාට payment එක ලැබෙනවා because you will be considered as a creditor. Because you know purchasing a corporate bonds or debentures does not make you an owner of the company, right? Where you will be belong to the debt capital. You're a creditor, right? So in that manner, you will be considered before the shareholders. So it is quite good. So shall we write that as well, please? So debentures, characteristic number 2, number 3, and number 4. Right, guys, all good. Shall we move to our next capital market, which is a well-known market, that is Sri Lanka's one and only share market, which is Colombo Stock Exchange. Right. So, guys, moving to the share market. Share markets. Now all done, right? Share market is where, the public listed companies, so they can list. So in order to obtain a large capital, they can share issues, not just shares, even the debentures, commercial bonds, also you can trade. Right? So you have to list. I think ලංකාවට share market කිව්වොත් ඉතින් එක share market එකයි තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි when you consider developed countries, so they have multiple share markets. But here it's only Colombo Stock Exchange, right? එහෙනම් share market කිව්වොත් Colombo Stock Exchange විතරමයි, which is CSE. Right, now we'll discuss the requirement. So, what is the requirement for you to invest in Colombo Stock Exchange? What is your first step? And also, what sort of things that you can trade, and what sort of procedures? Right, so we have a separate topic about Colombo Stock Exchange. In අපි share market එක ගැන small intro එකක් දාගමු. ඊට පස්සේ අපි එනවා වගේ full lesson එකකට full subtopic එකක් Colombo Stock Exchange. මේකේ තියෙන tradable instruments මොනවාද, මේකේ කොහොමද companies වර්ග මොනවාද, මේකේ තියෙන boards වර්ග මොනවාද, යන අපි discuss කරමු. Right, guys, so a quick and small explanation. Can we just write? So shall we write this topic, share market? Right guys මේ බලන්න එන so now හරි ඔන්න share market එක ගැන අපි intro එකක් ලිව්වා ඉතින් ලංකාවේ එකම share market එක Colombo Stock Exchange එක නිසා අපි දැන් topic එක අපේ යන්නේ Colombo Stock Exchange නැත්නම් CSC right මොනවාද අපි CSC ගැන කතා කරන්නේ introduction to CSC important of Colombo Stock Exchange Sri Lankan economy මොකද stock exchange එකක් තිබ්බ නැත්නම් the public limited companies වලට මේකේ list කරලා වැඩි capital එකක් ගන්න බෑ එහෙනම් economic activities අඩු වෙනවා so they are not in a position to expand their capabilities and also from the investors point of view you have some sort of investment platform so where you can purchase shares where you can obtain capital gains where you can have dividends at the end of the period right and also we'll be talking about how limited companies can be registered in a stock exchange. We will be talking about some sort of measurements, how we can measure the performance of the CSC or S&P 20 index, maybe the top 20 companies for the performance, total market capitalization. We'll be talking about some measurements, how we measure the performance. Some other news share market perform share market I think introduction keyword. So this is the place where you can I would say you can do the buying and selling of the shares of the listed companies. I hope you remember the companies classification, right? Listed, unlisted, public companies, and public listed companies. For you to tell guys, recently there are a couple of you need to be very aware, right? So recently, I think Kapruga. So Kapruga registered, Kapruga listed as a listed company. Luminex company. They have some bookshops as well. Luminex Construction. In the past, Prime Residences also listed recently. But we can recent listed companies feedback. I think in Lanka Colombo Stock Exchange monitor කරන්නේ මේක regulate කරන්නේ SEC එකේ නේද මොකද SEC එක Securities and Exchange Commission Colombo Stock Exchange එක company guaranteed ඔයාලා මතකයි company classification එකේ CSC belongs to companies the guaranteed company එකක් නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා a company limited by guaranteed category because there are some specific characteristics. Company limited by guarantee, right? Company category CSC register listed company maybe that so you need to have some sort of a intro. Point form shall we write a subtopic? Colombo Stock Exchange. Colombo Stock Exchange. And these are the points that we'll be discussing. Introduction. And you also have this introduction. And also how important to SL economy. And also how limited companies can be registered. Can we have these 3 points, please? So right after that, we'll move to a simple explanation. Right, now let's write this quick intro regarding Colombo Stock Exchange, and I'll also redirect you to the CSC website, so where you will learn some more facts, right? So can you please write the highlighted things in yellow color? So the establishment of administrating the buying and selling of shares of listed companies is known as Colombo Stock Exchange, and this is the company limited by guaranteed. ඒ වගේම මේක monitor කරනවා, so CSC are regulated and monitored by Sri Lanka Securities and Exchange Commission. Right, shall you write the highlighted points in the point form? Right, guys, all good. So let's move to the Columbus Stock Exchange website. You also can, browse this website when you get a free time. So this is the home page, CSC, Columbus Stock Exchange, csc.lk. You can browse with three languages, English, Sinhala, and Tamil. So they are providing information about a couple of markets, the equity market, the debt market, some funds, some cooperative announcements, and some publications. And also, if you want to have idea about the listed entities, on a companies that make a listed so you have this listed entity from the alphabetical order. You can browse the list of companies. So once you click the listed companies here, it will appear. Right. So at the moment, guys, there are 296 companies representing two GICS. GICS so that is, guys, something kind of an index. The GICS index means that, like, internationally companies classify transportation sector, telecommunication, there are 20 classifications, right? Let me share. These 4-tier industry classification, right? GICS classification, okay? The Global Industry Classification Standards, GICS, right? Global Industry Classification. I think A විස්සට අනුව දැන් අපි බලුවොත් A වලින් start කරලා දැන් අපිට මෙන්න මේ point එක add කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Can we add this point or ලියපු topic එකටම has CSC has 296 companies representing 20 GICS. So this is as per 31st March 2022, right? 296 companies. Roughly idea make a change වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද 2000 මාර්තු 31 වෙද්දී companies 296ක් companies අයින් වෙනත් පුළුවන්, අලුත් companies එකතු කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. But get that general idea around, like, 300 290 ඒ range එකේ යනවා. 20 GICS. මොනවාද GICS කියන්නේ? Global Industry Classification Standards. Global Industry Classification Standards. ඒ කියන්නේ එක sectors 20ක් යටතේ මේක register කරලා තියෙනවා. Shall we write the meaning of GICS as well? Global Industry Classification Standard. Global Industry Classification Standard. හරි අපි බලමු companies කීපයක් අරගෙන මොනවද මේකේ register කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා, right? ඔයාලට alphabetical order එකෙන් යන්න පුළුවන්. අපි බලමු A. හරියනම් A වලින් තියෙනවා Advanced Electricals, Advanced Finance, Access Engineering, ACL Cables, or විදියට ඉතින් අගලවත්ත Plantations, Aitken Paints, ගොඩක් companies තියෙනවා. Alumex, Amana Bank, Amana Takaful, again Amana Life, ඊට පස්සේ බලුවොත් AMW, Arpico Insurance, ඉතින් ඒ විදිහට ඔයාලට තවත් list එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ අකුරෙන් ලොකු set එකක් තියෙනවා. Asia Asset, Asia Capital, RCD Hospital මේ විදිහට තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඔයාලට even you can download as well. ඔයාලට මේක download කරන්නත් පුළුවන් list එක. අපි නිකන් random නිකන් H අකුර අරන් බලමු. Right, so you can see Hatton National Bank, Hatton Plantation, Haley's, Hemas, HNB Assurance, HNB Fund. Finance, Housing Development Finance Corporation. I think all we did companies this year higher තියෙනවා. Right. ඒක total market capitalization එක 3,826 billion. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ company 296ම market capitalization එක billion 3,826ක්. You know what is market capitalization? Their share price, the market price of the share into number of shares. ඒක company එකක market capitalization එක. ඒ වගේ මේ companies 296ම වටිනවලු රුපියල් බිලියන 3,826ක්. ඒක තමයි මේකේ අදහස market capitalization. Right. ඉතින් ඔය විදිහට ඔයාට මෙන්න මෙතන home page එකට ගියාට පස්සේ ඔයාලට පුළුවන් මේක සමහර statistics තියෙනවා S&P 20 index අපි මේවා ගැන separately කතා කරනවා. ඒ වගේම තවත් short courses කරන්න පුළුවන් මේකේ like you know you can study about those. ඒ වගේම මම මේ GICS classification එක ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න. Global Industry Classification Standard මොනවාද මේ sectors 20 කියලා. Here you can see this sectors. Here මේක තමයි globally අපි ගන්නෙ එක sectors. Consumer sector එක, consumer staples, ඊට පස්සේ energy sector එක, financial, healthcare, industrials, IT, materials, real estate, telecommunication and utilities. So විදිහට ගන්නකොට අපි නිකන් healthcare ගත්තොත් ඒ GICS sector එකේ වාට මෙතනින් GICS industry group එක select කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So industries research ගැන කතා කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මේකේ boards කීයක් තියෙනවා. Even you can check the market capitalization of each company. ඒ කියන්නේ එක company එකක් කොච්චර worth ද කියන එක බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් මෙතනින්. Right? එක company එක අපි මෙතන බලන්න පුළුවන් ලංකාවේ highest capital එක අවශ්‍ය නම් make the Lankawe top companies with the highest market capitalization. In Lankawe highest market capitalization, and guys, I think this is somewhere around 342 billion of market capitalization. ඒ වගේම total cap එක. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලට පැහැදිලි අර මම ඉතින් හරියනද අර මම කිව්වේ බිලියන 3,800 ගණනක් කියලා. එතකොට ඒකේ 10.77 ඒ කියන්නේ මුළු market capitalization එකේ මේ company එකට තියෙනවා 10.77. ඒක තමයි Expo Lanka Holdings, right? Sri Lanka's number 1 company in terms of market capitalization. Number 2, LOLC Holdings with 189 billion. John Keel's number 3, LOLC Finance, ඊට පස්සේ Ceylon Tobacco Company, අපි කියන්නේ CTC එක. Browns Investments, ආපහු LOLC එකක් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ Dialog, ඊට පස්සේ BCSL Company, ලංකාවේ liquor හදන company එක. It's a commercial bank, Sri Lanka Telecom, Nestle Lanka, Haley's, Carson, Meltascope, Lion Brewery, that is also one of liquor company, Cargill's, Selinco, Lanka IUC, RCV, Valuable, Sampal, Sinkadagala, HNB, over the list again. Right, so these are the top companies in terms of highest market capitalization. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අද share price එක 175 rupees. එතකොට ඔයාලට මේක වැඩි කරා නම් හරි මේකේ. ඔයාලට මේ amount එක වැඩි කරා නම් you can get these guys the number of shares that they have issued around 1.9 trillion, I guess. So it's 19 million, not 19 million, right? 1,954 million worth of shares issue කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒක වැඩි කරා නම් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ market price එක 175.25 වාට එනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ market capitalization එක. Let me just show you guys because you know we have to be very practical. අපි market capitalization කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? මොකද්ද market capitalization කියලා කියන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ share market price of a share into number of shares issued. එහෙනම් example Expo Lanka යාගේ share එකක් 175.25 ඒගොල්ලෝ මෙන්න මෙච්චරක් shares issue කරලා තියෙනවා 1954915 right. So then you get this figure, right? 342, right? This one. So likewise, this is how you get the market capitalization. This is around 342 billion, right? I'm going to 3%, 10%. Well, yeah, I think on our information keep record දැක ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම මෙතනදී හැම company එකකම financial reports ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. When you are a listed company, you need to audit your financial statement because auditing is one of the requirements that we have discussed. You know, when we discuss characteristics of a company. So as you can see, it's one of the requirements to publish their audited financial statements. So you can see all the companies they have uploaded. So if you want to invest in one of the companies, you can just check their audited financial statement. Even you can download those stuff. So it's open to public, right? So those are audited by KPMG Chartered Accountants. So here you see there all financials, right? Financial, the set of financial statements, their cash flows, and probably the income statement also should attached here. Right, all their income financial statements. Right. So that's available for you to download. So even the annual reports for all companies, right? If you take the bonds company annual report, so every company's annual report is uploaded here because if investor, right, want to know some information about their vision, mission, values, and everything, their content, their history, their group structure, their board of directors, corporate governance, risk management, right? Financial reports, board committee reports, independent auditor report, financials, so all uploaded, right? Well, right. So what's about it? And then, guys, you have some non-compliance disclosures. They can companies in line when at time they will allow a financial statement publish at time they will non-compliance. I think over there. I'll think listed which a company can monkey Luminex. It pass say and also the couple company recently listed as a Hella clothing. Harito without information keep back Takagana Pulwa. When the main articles you got a provisional pay, let me share those. Why should you invest in stock market? That I'll share via the chat, so you can further refer. Right. So what sort of a benefit that you get? And also this article again published by CSE. So what is your first step of investing, right? How you start investing, how to create your CDS account, central depository account. You know, you need to be above 18 years old and all the stuff, you can check the eligibility. And also the other article, So what is the role of the stockbroker? Right. Well, so those stuff are there, guys. So this will be additional information. Well, now start with the importance of Colombo Stock Exchange, which I'm not gonna ask you to write the stuff, but just to go through, because once you receive this tube, that will be there. No need of spending time on this, but just to refer to you. So those are the benefits or the importance of the CSC. So encouraging individuals and institutions for investment, yes, because that will encourage, because that will provide you benefit, because you have extra money. So always a platform where you can invest. So investors can enjoy various benefits. Capital gains, dividends by investing. Companies get the opportunity to collect the large capital or pay 296 companies, 3,800 plus market capitalization in a growth එක ඒගොල්ලන්ට වැඩිපුර capital එකක් obtain කරගන්න පුළුවන් මේ share market එකේ register කරලා. ඒ වගේම ability to not to attack, guys, ability, so now actually we are attacking foreign investors. So ability to attract, right? Ability to attract foreign investors. Because even foreigners can invest. The government can collect required fund by selling government securities also through the share market, creating a value for company, guys. You might remember the market value of shares, right? Because when you have a higher market value, because when you keep increasing our market value of a share, your company value increases, shareholders' wealth increases. For example, you notice the fact that Expo Lanka is having 175 rupee share market price. Probably that's been initially sold at maybe 50-60 rupees. So now it's been 175, which is the wealth of the shareholders have been increased. So likewise, it will create a value of a company. I think and also increasing the goodwill and the image of the company, because if someone says their company has been registered, so that kind of a recognition, because you see the comparison. Private limited companies වලට වඩා public listed companies වල තියෙන පිළිගැනීම වැඩි, goodwill එක, good image. ඉතින් ඔන්න වගේ benefits සහ important වට ලැබෙනවා Colombo Stock Exchange. So just to refer with you, I'm not going to ask you to write the full stuff. Right, ඉතින් ඔන්න ඔය ටික තමයි අපිට අද කතා කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඒත් එක්කම the registration process, right? අපි මෙන්න මේ දෙක කතා කළා, introduction එකක්, important to the SL economy, and let's talk about next session how a limited company can register. කොහොමද register කරන්න මොන වගේ documents ඕනේ, මොන වගේ process එකක්ද ඔයාලට follow කරන්න වෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැන කතා කරමු. Right, ඉතින් මෙතනින් පස්සේ අපිට තව පොඩි 20% වගේ තමයි මේ lesson එකේ complete කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. Well, guys, so thank you for joining, and we'll see you with the next session. Thank you.